Thank you very much, Jam. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mixed emotions standing here today. Mixed emotions. First of all, on the positive side, I'm really proud to be stood here as your Labour MP for this city in a sea of Norfolk blue. Very proud indeed. Thank you. And thank you for your support. That meant a lot to me. Clearly, it got me elected, but clearly it's given you a voice down in Westminster. A voice that will stand up for the working people of this city and this country, I'd like to think. On the downside, though, I'm not too happy at the fact that I find myself with you here again facing another round of austerity. That isn't so good, but we are where we are. And what I'm going to say to you today is the fact that you've turned up, the fact that you're prepared to stand up and be counted, that defiance in itself is worth a round of applause and a cheer for yourselves to make a noise that this city can hear. But back to the bad news. I'm afraid to say that the last 5 years have been a bit of a dress rehearsal. I have here a document. No, I'm not Neville Chamberlain, and this isn't Peace in Our Time. But it is a document nonetheless, a document of woe. It is the Queen's speech. It is a document of austerity, a document of cuts, a document of attacks on civil and human rights and liberties, an attack on rights at work, an attack on the NHS, an attack on the welfare state that we as working people have fought for the past 60 years, and which we now, for our children's sake and for the rest of our society, must also stand up and defend. I suggest you have a look at this document. It talks about forcing housing associations to sell what is left of the affordable homes in this country. I know that in the 1980s, the Conservative government forced the Labour City Council to set off the vast majority of the housing stock in this city. Now, only 30% of the original residents who lived in those homes actually own those homes. The rest are owned by private landlords. We have a Tory government that talks about cutting welfare benefits. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to cut welfare benefits, then build more affordable homes. Don't hand over affordable housing to the private sector and private landlords to increase the housing benefit bill. In education, it talks about more free schools and more academies. Who here is from Hewitt? Yeah? A few of them are Hewitt? Okay. You'll know what it means when your school is handed over, lock, stock and barrel, to the Inspiration Trust, to an academy chain, which is in effect the thin end of the wedge for the privatisation of our education system. I would urge all of you here today support the parents and pupils of Hewitt, because austerity isn't just about cutting public services. It's also about attacking the very underpinning fabric of our society, and a free education system run by us, democratically accountable, transparent. This is a basic right that we have fought for, and it's something that should remain. And this document undermines that completely. So I would urge all of you to stand with those pupils and parents at Hewitt and help them defend their school. And to all parts, indeed. On trade union rights at work, they're talking about ending facility time, about making it illegal to strike in the public sector if you do not have a 40% threshold. Most of the Tory MPs who will support this did not have a 40% threshold when they were elected. This isn't about democracy, this is undemocratic, and it should be opposed at every step of the way. Len McCluskey was right when he said that if the law is wrong, if the law makes no sense, if the law impinges on your very basic human rights, then you should break the law. And I agree with him on this. From the co-panel martyrs onwards, we have fought for the right to withdraw our labour. It is a sacrosanct part of a democratic society, and we should defend it at all costs. So basically, in effect, this is Thatcherism 2.0. The bastard child of free market economics that caused the economic crash and the Thatcherite economics and politics of the 1980s. But you know what? It doesn't end there. They're not content with eroding what we have won, hard fought over the last 60 years. They now want to destroy my party, the Labour Party. Not content with beating us, not content with destroying the welfare state, they now want us to have a democratic and republican form of government in this country, where no matter who loses, big business wins. That is what they want. They do not want a real opposition. Now, I understand that parliamentary politics is only one component of opposition, but it is an important part nonetheless. And people often ask me, who are you going to support in the leadership election of the Labour Party? In fact, I've been asked by many in my own party, in the Parliamentary Labour Party, who I will support. And I'm not supporting anyone until they give me a cast iron guarantee that they will stand up and oppose the sale of housing association homes, that they will stand up and oppose austerity, that they will stand up and oppose attacks on the welfare state and on trade unions. Until they give that promise, I cannot give my nomination to any of them, and I haven't done so far. I want to see a candidate that leads the Labour Party that doesn't accept their terms, that is prepared to be a real opposition. That is what the country wants. That is what you have elected here in Norwich South, an MP who will stand up for those principles, who will make sure that the Parliamentary Labour Party and the Labour Party itself tries to do the same as well. I thank you for your support, because ultimately we all understand there can be no compromise with austerity, there can be no surrender to austerity. Ultimately, we want to see a better society, a society founded on hope, because hope is the fuel of progress, and it's progress that we want. So thank you for coming today, thank you for listening patiently. Get involved with this campaign, get involved in standing up to austerity. It's your future, your children's future, it's your society, it's your welfare state, it's your livelihoods, it's your city, it's your country. You want a better planet, you want a better world to live in, stand up and be counted. By coming here today, you started that process, and I'm proud of you, and I hope you will be proud of me in the next 5 years. Thank you very much.